This is VSiN, the sports betting network.
The numbers told the story, they always do.
It's one of those idiots who believe in analytics.
This is a numbers game with Gil Alexander on VSiN.
Good Tuesday morning. It is a numbers game at VSiN, the sports betting network, VSiN.com, Game Plus, iHeartRadio, YouTube TV, and of course, Sirius XM channel 158. That's 158 for those listening around the country. It's Gil Alexander. That right there is Kelly Bidley, everybody.
Hey, how we doing?
Kelly Bidley. Who called you that first? Who mispronounced?
I have no idea, Gil. I have no idea.
Wasn't it Matt Brown? Didn't he say Kelly Bidley? He was so excited one time.
Yes, that did. Yes, it did happen.
Yes. I didn't make that up. Yes.
that did happen one time, and you've called me it 702 times since then.
It's inspired by by DC radio when someone Dexter Manley once called Andy Pollin, a local sports talk host, Andy Poley. And then they proceeded to call him that for the next 10 years.
Well, great. I'm glad.
So good luck
my name
to
will never be pronounced correctly for 10 years. That's something I got to look forward to.
You sound very cool about it, though. Jake Hahn on the NHL coming up later this hour. We'll also talk to Matty Cox on college basketball, Tyler Shoemaker on college football, a little bit of everything today. Drew Dinsick on the NBA and NFL. What else have we forgotten? Survivor. Got to get into that as we head towards Thanksgiving, at least in the Circa Survivor contest quirk. Wow, we are here, man. Happy Thanksgiving, Kelly Bidley. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody out there as well. It's Kelly Bidlin, by the way, everybody.
What a great week. Thanksgiving week's awesome.
It's the greatest. It's the greatest. What did I forget? Oh, we'll also do power rankings. We'll do that. And we'll take another look at make-miss playoffs in the National Football League. How are we going to get to all of this in 3 hours?
Yeah, I don't know, Gil. Stick around and find out.
Maybe we should add a fourth. No, I'm kidding. Kidding, everybody. Kidding. Okay. We'll do all of that. We'll get in all of that. First of all, right after the show yesterday, we used to think, right? We were told by the great Ron Flatter, who used to be adult supervision around these parts. He used to say, when you get off the air, Gil, at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, that's when all the news breaks. So I was like, oh, well, at least when we had the other hour, this stuff will happen during our show. No, they moved it back an hour for us. Because then we found out Shador is, in fact, starting for the Browns. That, in fact, Joe Burrow is going to start for the Cincinnati Bengals on Thursday against the Ravens. And maybe we also found out, obviously, that, other things like Baker Mayfield's MRI is a low-grade, revealed a low-grade sprain. So his is a pain tolerance situation with the Buccaneers. They don't know if he's going to play or not. But back to that Bengals game, maybe the biggest thing we found out yesterday was that Lamar Jackson has a fourth injury this season. In other words, the guy that previously, in case you hadn't tuned into this channel before about Lamar Jackson, previously had a hamstring injury that had kept him out 3 games. Then he, I want to get these in the correct order. Then, eventually it was a ankle injury, and now it's a toe injury. I think I'm leaving out one injury in between. I think there was a fourth. But now it's a toe injury, and I don't know what Lamar's story is for this week. Though it's expected he'll play. Oh, by the way, he had knee soreness. I forgot about that part also in between. So right now the Ravens are 7-point favorites, even money, teetering on going lower here, hosting the Bengals on Thanksgiving, which of course has massive Survivor implications for the Circa Survivor contest. Do people have the onions if they plan on playing the Ravens to play the Ravens? We'll get into all that later during Survivor. But all that news came down after the show yesterday. And so that's the latest with the quarterbacks. We didn't even touch on who's going to start for the Giants, who's going to start for the Commanders. I mean, there's so many teams this week that it's just uncertain, and it will be made clear as the week goes on.
Yeah, for sure. We were sitting around here, you, myself, and co-producer Danny Higgins talking about this, and Ravens superfan Danny Higgins, just talking about some of this Lamar stuff yesterday, man. I'm never going to read too deeply into Lamar injuries because, the past couple years, we've begun he takes Wednesdays off. You never really know what's going on, and they always have to have an excuse for him missing practice. So there's always an excuse. Usually it's an illness, but man, we were talking about it. I think we're going to learn a lot more after the season about what Lamar Jackson has been playing through. or not playing through.
Well, we just went through 4 different injuries, so I mean, he's been playing through a lot.
I guess my question is how much of it's real, how much of it is Lamar Jackson just beginning the decline in play, and that's what I don't know.
Both things could be happening at the same time.
Yep.
Which also goes back to, again, he rewrote the record books last year, and they didn't give him the MVP.
Mm-hmm.
Guys aren't going to be around forever, and it makes that kind of thing even more kind of lame, because it's like, yep, you didn't give it to him. Now we'll never see that guy again, kind of thing.
No, it's tough. It's tough. I mean, I think you kind of agreed with me yesterday, but it's, man, when this guy starts to lose his legs.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he's going to fall off a cliff. It was his legs helped power his entire game. So we'll see how the rest of the season plays out. They keep winning though, Gil. They keep winning.
They do. 5 in a row, tied with Pittsburgh atop the AFC North, and we'll get into that conversation later too about who's going to win that division. And that'll be part of the make-miss playoff discussion as well. Last night there was a football game. Speaking of quarterback play, or I don't know if it's diminished quarterback play. I don't know what the right way to describe it is. But Carolina at San Francisco yesterday. Niners win, Niners cover. 20-9 is your final score in whatever the opposite of a classic is. That was that last night. For those who missed it, this also felt like the Sunday night game where, like, midway through the third quarter, fourth quarter, even though this one was much closer than that Rams-Bucks game, you just kind of felt like, do I need to watch the end of this game? Because it doesn't feel like, but the spread was always in doubt.
I was
That's
going to say,
for sure.
This one was worse because of that.
Yes.
Just because it was one score from being
so you kind of
yeah.
had to keep watching. Started out, San Francisco, very first drive of the game, 15 plays, 72 yards that took 8 minutes and 43 seconds off the clock. Featured 6 first downs, 3 third down conversions, 9 McCaffrey touches. Purdy to Juwan Jennings from 12 out, 7-0 Niners, 6:17 left first quarter. Next time San Francisco had the ball, though, this is where the shenanigans began. First play, 1st and 10 at their own 8, Purdy picked over the middle by J.C. Horn, intended for Jennings.
Oof.
Oof is right. Then Carolina set up at the San Francisco 16. They get it to 1st and goal at the 1. Bryce is picked in the end zone by Jair Brown. On a play that they tried to sort of, say on the broadcast, well, that was a great play by Jair Brown. And it was, but when you are bunched up that close to the end zone, you have to be aware that the corner on the other receiver is also bunched up next to your intended receiver and can easily pull off him and jump the route.
It's an insane decision. Me and Gil texted right away. I was like, what are we watching right now? Like, 2 decisions by these quarterbacks that you just cannot make with what both of these teams have on the line for the rest of the season. It is funny, right? Because it's just like, let's hold 2 separate thoughts, right? Great interception.
Yes.
Great interception. Great heady play.
Decision. Terrible
you should
decision.
never throw that ball.
Never. And I thought they tried to be a little too excusey, if you will, for Bryce.
Yeah,
I'm
with you.
San Francisco then starts their own 20. They get to 4th and 1 at the Carolina 47. Purdy for 3, but 5 plays later. 3rd and 6 at the Carolina 28. Purdy picked over the middle by Mike Jackson, intended for Pearsall, when he had a prairie in front of him to run, and Kittle was open short.
Yep.
Like, what is going on here? Next time San Francisco, well, first of all, Carolina then had 3 it out because Tedero McMillan just straight dropped a pass. Then San Francisco first play the ensuing drive, 1st and 10. McCaffrey gets ball poked out by Princely Umanmielen. That's recovered somehow by Colton McKivett, 16 yards downfield. Niners get lucky there. But 2 plays later, Purdy's like, I got you. Picked by Horn again. Now, this one was a great play by J.C. Horn. Opposite field corner who just undercut the route. No way Purdy would have known he'd be there for that. So Carolina set up at the San Francisco 33. They have to settle for a Fitzgerald 25-yard field goal, 7-3. And then after a Sky Moore 43-yard kickoff return, the Niners were set up at their own 46. That led to a Matt Gay, newly signed, 47-yard field goal, 10-3 Niners at the half. And then the second half, first time the Niners got the ball, 13 plays, 80 yards. That took 7:43 off the clock. 2 huge long drives for the Niners to begin the first and their first drive in the second half. McCaffrey in from 12, 17-3. Carolina would respond to that. 8 plays, 68 yards. Bryce to Tedero McMillan from 29 out, 17-9 with 49 seconds left in the second quarter. And then this doesn't get enough is not made of this kind of sequence. A roughing the passer, right? The extra point goes in, but a roughing the snapper call is called on Jordan Elliott on the made extra point. So Carolina takes off the extra point off the board, and they say we're going to go from 2 because we're going to go for 2 because we're at the 1 yard line, and they go into shotgun. So I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Pass had no chance, intended for Jalen Coker. So it remains 17-9, which was a meaningful play to those who had the Niners -7. Matt Gay adds a 29-yard field goal to make it 20-9, and then the game would end on 2 Carolina possessions. Bryce was picked again by Jair Brown, and then the next drive, and the last drive, really, that of consequence, Fitzgerald. When I say he missed a 57-yard field goal try, I mean it was not close.
Talk about another play where the broadcast was looking for any excuse to help.
It's got to be tipped.
It's got to be tipped.
Nope, he just kicked it to...
shake the hell out of it.
He kicked it to Redwood City. That's what you Bay Area people want to hear. Something like that. 20-9, Niners win it. I just want to say this about the... McCaffrey was awesome. 24 carries, 89 yards, a touchdown, 7 catches for 53. His offensive player of the year campaign, if you will, continues. He's just ridiculous.
25-1.
25-1. Third position in that?
Third behind John. It's Jonathan Taylor -135, JSN +105, and then Christian McCaffrey 25-1.
McCaffrey probably should be third, but he should be a lot closer than that. 25-1 seems ridiculous when he's starting to rewrite the record book for what he does, as we went through yesterday. But the Purdy discussion, because the people are like, where's Mac Jones? Where's Mac Jones? You have to understand, party people, they paid Brock Purdy $265 million, $181 million of which is guaranteed. And the contract hasn't even kicked in yet. It kicks in next year. So, this is what they've got. They're not going away from him.
Nope. Brocktober's here, Gil Alexander. Buckle in.
Except it's not Brocktober. It's gone. It's Brock Ember or whatever it is. It's not applicable. Man. So, I mean, this is what they got, so we'll see.
Hey, he's fun. He's more fun than Mac Jones.
He's fun, all right. That's what he is. We'll come back. The cavalcade of guests will begin as well. Hockey with Jake Hahn. Some Survivor talk. It's a numbers game at VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
If you're serious about football betting, VSiN's got your weekend game plan. Fridays at 7 p.m., it's the Circa Friday Football Invitational. Saturday morning, VSiN's college football tailgate show at 9 a.m., breaking down matchups, props, and big-time bets. Later that night, join the football contest show as the sharpest betting minds give you their picks for Sunday's game. And Sunday at 9 a.m., lock in with Mitch and Pauly on VSiN's Pro Football Tailgate Show. Your final stop before kickoff. Check out the full lineup at VSiN.com and join us on the Sports Betting Network.
This is VSiN, a network of sports betting analysts, writers, hosts, and handicappers, all here to help you become a more confident bettor. We broadcast live every day from Las Vegas, the sports betting capital of the world, and from studios across the country, giving you insight from every angle of the action. Take VSiN with you wherever you go with the VSiN Watch app, or catch us on streaming platforms and regional sports networks. You can also listen live on SiriusXM Channel 158 and on radio stations nationwide. Check out VSiN.com as well for betting tools, exclusive betting splits, AI-powered player prop projections from Opta, pro picks for every game, plus in-depth betting guides and articles built to give you an edge. From sharp betting analysis and daily best bets to insider interviews and expert breakdowns, VSiN is your trusted source for everything happening in the world of sports betting. See everything we have to offer at VSiN.com and become part of the Sports Betting Network.
Tuesday's edition of Money Moves is going to be a banger. Adam Burke, managing editor of VSiN.com, is going to be in studio. It is Feast Week. We got a ton of college hoops throughout the day. Adam's going to come in and help us break it all down. And we start to look ahead to the next week of NFL action. There's one team the market can't figure out. Well, I can. We'll tell you what it is and how we can play them as we move forward. And tiebreakers galore. We'll head into the deep waters of breaking down every conference winner in college football. Don't miss it. It's Money Moves, 11 to 1 Pacific, 2 to 4 Eastern here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Game on VSiN, the sports betting network.
Not a VSiN Pro subscriber yet? What are you waiting on?
What are you doing?
It's your best chance. Come on. Black Friday special is live and in effect mode. And for just $60, you'll get full VSiN Pro access to everything we offer all the way through May 1st. That includes daily best bets from VSiN hosted guests, real-time betting splits from DraftKings, Circa, and Bronco, AI-powered prop tools, and weekly wide receiver cornerback matchup edges, 24/7 video, and replays on the VSiN Watch app. Coverage of every major sport through the spring, from football and hoops to March Madness, the NFL Draft, and the Masters. Our biggest new subscriber offer of the year is here, rather. It's our biggest new subscriber offer of the year. Don't wait. Go to VSiN.com/subscribe now. That's VSIN.com/subscribe. We get tweets beating the book. Always appreciate y'all. This is Jason H11. The best run Lamar has had in the past few years might have been that run to the bathroom. Remember that one?
Yeah.
Money Gun Guz. This week is going to be hard for Circa Millions players. Spreads and games on Sunday are ugly. Are people now forced to play some Thanksgiving Day coin flips? Have mercy, he says.
I had not even thought about that yet.
Yeah, I hadn't gotten there yet either.
Although, I don't know about you, that feels like it's a tradition, a Thanksgiving tradition, for me to just forget about Millions and then realize on, like, Wednesday that, like, oh, yeah, I might have to scramble here.
So when does the last quarter start? I think that's where people's brains have toggled to. Most folks.
This is the last week, right? This is the last week of the third quarter, I believe.
Correct, yes. Chris Heath, I think he kicked it to Milpitas. People going to name random towns on the 101 or the 280 to where Ryan Fitzgerald had that 57-yard field goal. It was wide and short, let's put it that way. James, NTU 89. Brock has always been more gunslinger than game manager. Gives the Niners a better chance to beat superior teams. They could make a run in the playoffs with Brock if those 50-50 balls go their way. Well, those weren't really 50-50 balls last night. I think that's a generous description. By the way, I'm Team Brock. Like, I was one of the guys when he was, leading in EPA and all kinds of stats a couple years back. I was like, this guy should be the MVP leader. And then he had that 4-pick game, and it was all Katie bar the door at that point.
I agree with every part of that tweet until we got to the 50-50. Because some are just dumb decisions. That's what happens. But hey, absolutely. Gunslinger mentality, push the ball down the field. I agree. I think he gives you a better chance to win the big games and in the playoffs than Mac Jones.
Brock Purdy has exceeded all expectations. When he was in college at Iowa State, there were so many games, I remember. It was him and Brees. But I remember there were so many games where, like, Brock Purdy was killing Iowa State in this game. It was a bad interception or two I remember watching. And then he's mystery relevant. He's the last pick in the draft. They don't think that he'll ever be the starting quarterback. And then started with Mike Shanahan, who liked him. And then this guy's really good. And he parlays it all into this massive contract. So good on him. He's their guy. No matter what happens, he's their guy right this point.
Yeah, you and I were kind of discussing on the break, but I've kind of changed my mind even since then, Gil.
Wow.
If Brock struggled, you could go with something. Hey, my toe's hurting again. Let's get Mac Jones back in there. But you don't have enough time left in the season to figure out a whole quarterback situation. So I think now you've made the change. You got to ride Brock and figure out he's going to take you however far you go.
I guess. Mac Jones was so good, though.
He was. No, he was.
He was objectively very good.
But as you brought up for a segment, right? Like, you're with Brock for years. It's not just this season. So what does it do if you end up benching him this year for going into next season? I think that's tough.
To your point about, I think your toe hurts, that kind of thing. You were saying off air also, we didn't talk about, there's other quarterback situations we didn't talk about last segment, which is we also found out J.J. McCarthy is in concussion protocol, which is not the same as what happened to him earlier in the year, but it took the same sort of trajectory, which is both the case where J.J. McCarthy missed a bunch of games. Remember that nothing in the game that caused the said injury was evident to the viewer. Mm-hmm. It just was sort of announced after the game, where it's like, yeah, he's got this, he's injured. And we didn't see J.J. McCarthy for a month. Now we have this concussion. I'm not saying, man, poor guy. Listen, concussions are serious things. If he has a concussion, he has a concussion. I just think it's noteworthy that in Minnesota, did anything happen in the game?
No.
Where we thought that this was a concussion?
Symptoms he started feeling on the flight home.
Yeah. Just to your point about...
It's worth noting.
Brock, your toe hurts, that kind of thing.
Yeah, it's worth noting.
It's worth noting. We brought up the offensive...
They do have, Henry Rowan-Gardner's filling in for the Minnesota Vikings this week, so I don't really... I don't know if they were jumping to go that direction, or whoever the guy's name is. Legit, Max something? He played for the University of Minnesota. That's all I got.
You're talking about the Vikings.
Yeah, the Vikings backup.
We brought
Max Brosmer. Thank you, Danny.
We brought up Offensive Player of the Year last segment.
The great Max Brosmer. How dare I?
We brought it up when we talked about Christian McCaffrey. Let's just do a heat check on some of these awards. Regular season MVP, Matthew Stafford now, minus 215. He is separating from Drake May, who is 2-1. Jonathan Taylor, 18-1, the short shot to win Offensive Player of the Year, third shot to win MVP. Then everybody else, 22-1 and longer, beginning with Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. Also, by the way, Jackson Smith and Jigba is 6th in the MVP market, which is noteworthy. At 40-1, he now slips ahead of Sam Darnold. I think this is properly priced. I think Matthew Stafford is the favorite. In a year, by the way, where there is no player that is anywhere near the Lamar Jackson level of last year or the Josh Allen level of last year.
I want to say agree, but it's Stafford can't run. What are we going to hold that against the poor guy?
No, I'm just saying there isn't an MVP campaign here that leaps off the page.
What's his interception touchdown count up to? I mean, it's pretty silly. Those two guys are pretty good at the top. But
I'm not saying they're not pretty good.
I know what you're saying.
I'm just saying.
Lamar, Josh Allen.
Do you want me to go through the stats from last year? Nothing compares to that.
No. I know. And Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, best seasons, nothing's going to compare to, right? Big question with this one. What percentage are you sure we're down to two guys?
Well, you asked this on Are We Sure, I think, also. And my comment was we're either at one or we're at many.
Okay.
I don't think we're at two. I don't think it's a Stafford versus Drake May thing. Because, again, are we going to give the Patriots both Coach of the Year and MVP? No.
They could.
With a soft schedule, you can't give them multiple awards, can you?
I think you could.
Okay.
I think you could.
All right. I'm sure.
I think we're down to two.
You're allowed to. I'm just saying, will they? Same voters.
I think we're down to two. I hope you're right, though. I hope I'm cashing on Stafford.
I think you are. At this point, you are. But there's plenty of football to be played.
Yeah.
Offensive Player of the Year we just talked about, which is Jonathan Taylor is the favorite. Followed closely by Jackson Smith and Jigba. And then it's Christian McCaffrey way down at 25-1. Taylor's minus 135. Smith and Jigba's plus 105. McCaffrey's 25-1. Jahmyr Gibbs creeping up to 30-1. Everybody else in Offensive Player of the Year is triple digits beyond that. I think Smith and Jigba is getting to the point.
Yeah, I hear you.
Where it's like you need to start analyzing how many more primetime games these players have with their respective teams for national stage opportunities. That's real. I think a lot of this is going to come down to that.
I think you're probably right, and I don't think you can completely rule out McCaffrey or Gibbs, but I have a feeling we're down to two in this race as well.
Yeah. I think it's a great point about McCaffrey, though. It's like, do the voters care about rewriting the record book if your team's not as good as the other two? Maybe they don't. But it's a worthwhile thing to bring up.
Mm-hmm.
Some voters will be impressed by that. McCaffrey's setting all kinds of records when it comes to receiving from the running back position, touchdown score, that sort of thing. Okay, next, Defensive Player of the Year. This is Myles Garrett all the way out to minus 1,000 now.
Ugh, should have bet that last week.
Michael Strahan already waved the white flag. Congratulations on breaking my sack record. He's just having a ridiculous season. The best of an already storied career.
That's incredible. I think he's going to get there. I don't think minus 1,000 is even a bad bet. Just wish I would have bet at minus 200 last week.
Yeah. Apologies to Micah Parsons and Will Anderson Jr. Next is, from Defensive Player of the Year, we go to we'll go to, you want to do Offensive Rookie of the Year?
Yeah, we can do that.
Teteroa McMillan now is your short shot at plus 120 after scoring a touchdown yesterday. And Mika Egbuka is at plus 250. Jackson Dart drifting to plus 350. Tyler Warren plus 550. And there's Travion at 10-1. Everybody else way back, including the Cam Wards and the Ashton Genties and all the preseason favorites. This, to me, is way up in the air. Like, do I think Teteroa McMillan is a sure shot here? Absolutely not. And Jackson Dart, we'll see. Will he play this week, or are they going to wait till after the bye, which we've discussed ad nauseum?
It's not looking good for Egbuka.
Shador 400-1, by the way.
Who did we hear? Just win out. Just win out, Shador. And you're live for that.
400-1.
I think it's the rightful move on McMillan, right? I mean, he is 11th in the NFL in receiving yardage overall. It's incredible. He's passed Emeka Egbuka with the Baker Mayfield injury, the injuries overall in Tampa. I made that bet just 2 weeks ago. I feel a little dumb right now. It was looking good at the time. It looks like the Bucs are starting to fall here. And I think Tyler Warren's awesome. He's incredible. I kind of just feel like he belongs in that lingering area, though, and is not going to go and win this.
It's just because Jonathan Taylor's going to get most of the credit.
Yeah. And that's another team that could have several award winners, right? I mean, Coach of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year.
We'll see. Again, same people voting on all of them, so there is a human element to that. We're like, well, I voted for this guy for that. Am I really going to vote for this guy for that? You know what I mean. We'll get to the rest of these. And Jake Hahn on the NHL next.
This Black Friday, VSiN's hooking you up with our biggest deal of the year. Just $60 for full VSiN Pro access through May 1st. That's 6 months of nonstop action from the heart of the NFL season and college bowl games through the Super Bowl, March Mania, the Masters, and the NBA playoffs. Get every VSiN Pro article, betting tool, AI projection, and expert pick, all for just $60. Don't wait. This offer's only for a limited time. Head to VSiN.com/subscribe and join us on the Sports Betting Network.
Elevate your sports betting game with VSiN's exclusive betting splits. Stay ahead with real-time market trends and track bet percentages on any matchup. Then uncover the edge by comparing them to the amount of bets placed to find out where the sharp money is headed. Upgrade to VSiN Pro to access betting splits, live odds, line moves, power ratings, and in-depth game analysis. Go to VSiN.com/pro to join VSiN, the sports betting network.
This is VSiN, the sports betting network.
A numbers game on VSiN, the sports betting network.
Back on a numbers game, live from Circa Resort Casino, downtown Las Vegas. Gil Alexander. That right there is Kelly Bidlin, everybody. Producer number 9. So much more than a producer. We get tweets. Beat the book. Always appreciate the feedback. GV, New Jersey, New York. Would these voters give one team multiple awards in the same season? He's quoting. He says, I do have to remind you that the Jets in 2022 had both the offensive rookie of the year and the defensive rookie of the year that season, Garrett Wilson and Sauce Gardner. That is correct, GV, but I will sort of throw this in, that rookies of the year, you can compartmentalize easier in your head than you can any of the other categories, right? Because rookies of the year is very individual, and the others are more tied into team success than rookie of the year awards are. So I think it's a little bit of a different calculus in their heads. Just guessing. That's my hunch on that. That's my instinct. Drew Bridges, Drew from Boise, our buddy, because remember, 49ers at Colts, Monday Night Football, Christmas week. It's the OPOY Bowl, he says, Offensive Player of the Year Bowl, between McCaffrey and JT. Heads up. By the way, you may think that sounds crazy. I don't think it does.
Yeah, me either.
Like if Christian McCaffrey goes for 3 touchdowns, fills up both the rushing and receiving, and Jonathan Taylor gets stuffed, let's say, that's going to go a long way towards this. Of course, the opposite is true as well, I believe. By the way, Matthew Stafford, 30 touchdown passes, 2 picks.
Whew.
To answer your question.
Silly.
30 touchdown passes, 2 picks. Pittsburgh Billy says, hey, Gil, I think if Jackson Dart passes protocol and starts on Monday night at New England, I think he'll go back to the favorite for Rookie of the Year. Love the show. Thank you, Pittsburgh Billy. You may very well be right. Although at some point you got to win football games, right?
Yeah.
Like, is Jackson Dart, as good as Jackson Dart is, and I love Jackson Dart, but if they go 2-15, are we sure he's the short shot? Even him being good? We just talked about Rookie of the Year is easy to separate from team success. I just said that in the previous paragraph. But 2-15 is 2-15 also.
I just think the simple statement of just that few of wins, right? Yeah, 2-15. I mean, how many wins? It might not be the thing that matters the most in that award, but you think it matters a little bit, especially when you and I usually always, every season, lean towards quarterbacks in this award. But this is a talented crop of rookie players that he is going up against that deserve some recognition.
Yeah, for sure. By the way, last year, Lamar Jackson not winning the MVP, 41 touchdown passes, 4 picks.
Insane, man.
41-4, the first player ever to go 40 plus touchdown passes and less than 5 picks in a season. He was the first ever 4,000-yard passer, 800-yard rusher in a season. It was actually 4,172 and 915. He had the 5th highest passer rating of all time. Led the NFL in all kinds of advanced stats. Didn't win. Let's talk some hockey. Oh, actually, let's do comeback player of the year real quick before we get to Jake. Comeback player of the year, Christian McCaffrey, by the way, is the favorite. -120. Your guy, Dak Prescott, who you have a bet on, is +105. Everybody else is double digits. You think that's a mano?
Yeah, I think it's definitely down to 2. I think this is the best, without me checking record skill, the best comeback player of the year race we've ever seen.
Wow.
Like they're actually great cases. Like they fit the profile, and both of them are having great seasons. Honestly, I think the odds are only like this, Gil, because McCaffrey's not further up there in the offensive player of the year race, right? But I think they're kind of hedging for that a little bit. If he doesn't win offensive player of the year, if it ended today, he'd be winning this award.
Daniel Jones, 16-1, not really supposed to win. Please don't bet him. Can't come back from sucking. Jake Hahn joins us, ladies and gentlemen, courtesy of the Progressive Guest Line, to talk some NHL with us. We always enjoy having Jake on. He is the co-host of The Point and the Fantasy Hockey Show on Sirius XM NHL, also co-host of NHL Fantasy on Ice podcast. Jahn4, Jahahn4. The number 4 is his handle on Twitter. How you doing, Jake? What's happening?
I'm doing great, guys, and always happy to be here. A highlight of my week, and happy Thanksgiving week to you guys south of the border. I'm Canadian, but we still kind of steal it. We celebrate a little bit, and we get to watch sports. We get to watch football during the day. So I love American Thanksgiving, and I hope you and everybody listening or watching has a great, safe week this week.
But well, that's very nice of you. To be clear, you do have a Canadian Thanksgiving as well, right? Standalone.
We do. We call it just Thanksgiving here, but it is Canadian Thanksgiving to you guys south of the border. So for me, and I've always said this, I think we do it better in terms of the time the timing on the calendar in October. It's a little more separated from Christmas. The weather's a little bit nicer. I like the vibe. There's playoff baseball on. So I like the timing of Canadian Thanksgiving better, but you guys just crush it in terms of the day of the week and how many days off you guys get. You do it on Thursday. You're off Thursday. You're off Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Heck, you could be off Wednesday if you want. You might as well take the whole week off at this point. So the time off you get south of the border, I love how you guys do it down there.
You know, coincidentally, we call our American Thanksgiving here. That's right. It's pretty interesting. By the way, one hockey question about Thanksgiving and specifically the American version of it before we get to your picks, which is, and you and I touched on this a bit last week. So the Eastern Conference right now, the difference between the number one team and the worst team in points is a grand total at this moment of 7 points.
Jeez.
7.
Crazy.
Is that true, or is it 9 now after last night? Let me see. Either way, by the way, it's 7.
Not a lot.
No, it's 7. So you have a pancaked Eastern Conference, and you and I alluded to this last week. By American Thanksgiving, the old adage goes in the NHL, you kind of know who's making the playoffs, or at least you know 75%. It's actually if you do it mathematically, it's that reliable. What about this year, though, in the Eastern Conference? What's going on here? Can you rely on the fact that 6 of the 8 teams are actually going to get to the postseason based on how close it is together?
I think you have to extend it to at least Christmas for what's going on in the East, Gill. And it's a great point to bring up because it's something that's just been amazing me. So we've had some tight standings before, but I don't think I've seen anything like this where the bottom team, literally the last place team in the Eastern Conference, is like a 3-game win streak away from being in the playoffs when we wake up next week or the week after. So things are tight. I think it's making everybody feel like they're still in it, even if you're playing subpar hockey. If you're a New York Rangers or a Toronto Maple Leafs, a couple teams that had playoff aspirations coming into this year and are very much struggling and don't look good when you watch them, it makes you feel a little bit better about yourself to say, well, we're not playing our game. We don't look good right now. We don't look like a playoff team, but we think we can figure it out. We think we have the parts. We're going to stay patient. So I think we have to extend it to Christmas for some of these teams. And nobody's really stepped up in the East. Carolina is a really good team, and they're always good in the regular season every year. New Jersey just lost their best player in Jack Hughes for a couple of months. Tampa and Florida are really yet to crank it up. So nobody's really stepped up and shown that they're the team to beat in the East yet.
All right, let's go picks, rapid fire. Let's start out with a couple futures. Let's do some awards. Kelly, Jack Adams Award. Any idea what that's about?
That is the best defending forward in the league. No, the coach.
That would be the
coach.
Selke.
That is the coach. The coach
Yes.
judged to have contributed the most to his team's success. You have a thought, Jake?
Yeah, Kelly nailed it if we were talking the Selke, which is a trophy I really do like. But yeah, Jack Adams to the best coach. Now, this is a narrative-based award, guys, as you could imagine in other sports as well, sort of the same thing. You look for a team that it wasn't supposed to make the playoffs that makes the playoffs. And I think that's always the angle that I like to play. So the guys at the top of the board are there for a reason. You're going to see Joel Quenneville up there, who's the coach in Anaheim now, was the longtime coach of the Chicago Blackhawks before. Anaheim's having this great season. Less surprising, I think some of us saw Anaheim coming. I'm looking to another California team in Ryan Warsofsky in the San Jose Sharks. Now, nobody was picking the Sharks to make the playoffs, and it is still going to be a battle for them to do so, but they're about a point out. They're in a Pacific Division that I think is very gettable. If the Sharks do make it, I think Warsofsky's going to get enough credit to be in this conversation. There's still some 30-1s prices in that range on him out there. That could be worth a sprinkle at the moment.
All right, Calder Trophy. Kelly, that's Rookie of the Year, basically. What do you like in the Calder Trophy right now?
I love the Calder Trophy. Last year we had a great race. This year we have a great race again. Now, Matt Schaefer has made himself the very deserved favorite. He was the first overall pick last year. He's injected a ton of life into the New York Islanders, life they haven't had in a very long time. And heck, they might even be a playoff team with what's going on in the East this year. So he's bumped up to being about a -200, -250 favorite in a lot of spots. I think that's a little steep for this early in the season with a lot of racetrack left, a lot of things that could happen. A couple goalies I'm looking at, Jesper Wallstedt in Minnesota, who's been as hot as any goaltender in the league. He was 80-1 last week. I grabbed a little piece. He's up to 30-1 in a lot of spots now, and I think that number is going to continue to move. Yaroslav Askarov out in San Jose as well. I just mentioned them in the Jack Adams conversation. He's about 60-1. I think could be worth a look as well, but I like what Wallstedt's doing in Minnesota.
Okay, real quick, because we only have one game in the NHL tonight. We have 15 tomorrow. We skip American Thanksgiving. Then we have 15 on Friday. Any plays in tonight's Stars-Oilers game?
We leave the path clear for football. We'll never get in the way of that on Thursday. And Black Friday hockey, though, don't forget, you're going to have tons of games starting at noon Eastern time. But for tonight, if there's going to be one game, guys, this is the game. Dallas and Edmonton, rematch of the Western Conference Final last year. It is a really good game. No Mikko Rantanen for Dallas. He's serving a 1-game suspension, but I still like that number with the Stars. Edmonton coming back from a 7-game road trip. I don't love teams coming back first game after a long road trip like that, and Dallas is not the team you want to see. I also like McDavid, 3+ shots on goal. In this game, you could maybe even play it up to 4. He's had at least 3 shots in every home game for the Oilers this year.
All right, Jake, in 20 seconds, and I shouldn't have done this in 20 seconds, but Ducks to win the Pacific Division, you like that as well?
Keep an eye on this number, guys. It's actually gotten a little bit better. And the Ducks, I mean, they've just beat Vegas twice over the last couple of weeks, which would probably be the team they're fighting with in the top of the Pacific Division. I don't think they're being taken seriously enough just now. So keep an eye on that Ducks to win the Pacific number.
Jake, we love you. Happy American Thanksgiving, sir.
Yes, happy Thanksgiving to all you guys out there. Have yourself a great week.
Jake Hahn, everybody. Survivor Talk, next on A Numbers Game.
VSiN's player prop projection tool is now available for the NBA. Get projections for points, assists, rebounds, and more powered by Opta AI. On VSiN.com/NBA props, we line up our projections against the latest DraftKings odds so you can quickly spot mismatches and find value before the market adjusts. The NBA player prop projections tool is available exclusively to VSiN Pro subscribers. Check it out now at VSiN.com/NBA props and join us on the Sports Betting Network.
Join the guru, John Hansen, at the intersection of prop betting and fantasy sports on Prop Points, only on VSiN.
Lesson number 1, Patty's back. I still believe that Caleb Williams is not any good. And, other than Rome Odunze, I don't trust anyone that can't run the ball.
John and his guests will help you find the connection between the two and give you his expert advice on how to capitalize when a number is too good to pass up. Prop Points, weekdays at 1 p.m. Eastern on VSiN.
A numbers game on VSiN, the sports betting network.
Reaching people is easy. Reaching the right people is everything. Mission Media helps your brand do exactly that. Their cross-platform strategies hit fans wherever they're watching or listening, podcasts, connected TV, streaming, digital, all of it. And because Mission Media is the exclusive advertising partner for VSiN, you get direct access to one of the most loyal, engaged, and bet-ready sports audiences in the country. These are fans who respond, engage, and convert. If you want your message in front of people who actually take action, Mission Media makes it happen. Visit VSiN.com/advertise or email us at advertising@vsin.com. Skill Alexander, we get tweets at Beating the Book. Best listeners in the game. Jamie Buckholt at The Real Buck U2 says, wait a minute. In Canada, they call it Thanksgiving. In America, we call it Thanksgiving. What's next? Dogs and cats living together? Love the show, guys. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your families. You too, Jamie.
Yeah.
To you and yours.
That was a great exchange.
And Hoops by Hoots. He says, so funny hearing the U.S. being described as south of the border by someone. LOL. Yeah, we tend to be geocentric here, right? The world revolves around us, but from their perspective. And let's see. Joe Esposito says, please ask Jake where I can follow his picks or pay for a service. His analysis is so spot on. We love Jake. Absolutely. I don't think he's in that line of work, though, is he?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
But you can.
But we'll ask Joe.
As Gil mentioned in the introduction, you can hear him at several different places. I invite you to go to his Twitter page at Jake Hahn 4.
Co-host on The Point, Fantasy Hockey Show, both on Sirius XM NHL. Also the co-host of NHL Fantasy on Ice podcast at NHL Fantasy, I should say. Okay, let's do this. You ready for this?
Let's do it.
It's time for Survivor Talk. Let's go.
Hello, you play to win the game.
It's time for your weekly Survivor preview with Gil and Kelly.
I'm a survivor.
B at the height of her powers. You see B and Jay-Z at F1?
I did.
Yes. Dressed for the occasion.
This is the first time I'm having this conversation with anybody.
Yeah.
Are they team ownership or something? What was she doing with like a headset on?
I got no idea.
Okay.
None. No clue.
I wasn't going to bring it up unless you did, but I did notice that.
I was just, look, there's B. All right.
Or like if you're Beyonce, do you just like, can you walk on an NFL sideline and be like, hey, hook me up? Hook me up with a headset.
Probably.
Like probably, huh?
Probably.
Just the way the world works, yeah.
I think so. Because I think everyone would recognize her. They'd be like, okay, you're in.
NBA game. Hey, clear a seat.
All right.
End of the bench.
Maybe we should start the Survivor Talk. Heading into so we're going to talk about this in two ways. What's the better way to describe Thanksgiving than Sunday, Monday? 13A and 13B?
Yeah.
Okay. 13A and 13B. So 13A is Thanksgiving. Remember, the Sunday, Monday is actually the 14th of 20 weeks, quote unquote. But 13A is Thanksgiving. And there's 4 games when it comes to the Circa Survivor contest, meaning the Black Friday game on Friday between the Eagles and the Bears is thrown into the mix. You must make one pick amongst those 8 teams in those 4 games, Thursday and Friday. The 2 obvious choices, Ravens favored by 7 currently over Cincinnati, Eagles favored by 7 over the Chicago Bears. Those are the current lines. But remember, Lamar Jackson, as we talked about, now with a 4th different injury this year. This is now a toe injury. And Joe Burrow is back for the Bengals. Kelly, I believe this line moves off the 7 downwards.
Yeah, it's already started. I grabbed a little 7.5 yesterday. I was actually just pulled it up. I'm a little surprised there's not more 6.5s on the board.
Yeah, so I'm surprised by that number. We talked about it yesterday as a sort of the line was sort of a no man's land line. I think that's a line. I think it's going to be the case between Flacco and Burrow, and I think we're going to see that as the week goes on. But who knows? We'll see where it ends up. Point being, with Survivor, these are the obvious 2 choices, and people have been saving their entries, right? Saving these teams for their entries all year long, knowing that this was a quirk, this and Christmas. So I'm not going to sit here and say, because there's all kinds of strategies. When we'll get to Sunday, Monday, we'll go through the whole breadth of teams that I think you can choose from. Some I like, some I don't. But as far as Thanksgiving, you've been saving for this all year long. I'm not going to take you off your position. But let's just do a thought exercise. Based on, I said yesterday, I was like 2/3 of the people, or probably 2/3 of the entries, somewhere around 600 of the 900 are probably saving it for the Eagles. I think with the Flacco to Burrow and then the Lamar Jackson injury, I think that's even more solidified.
Yeah.
So here's just a guess. These are just estimates, right? These are just estimates of what I think might be the distribution of the Thanksgiving quirk picks. Philly, I said 2/3, so 67% on Philly. I think Baltimore, 15%. KC, 8% as the shorter favorite. And then the contrarian, right? Chicago, 5%, Cincinnati, 2%, Dallas, Green Bay, Detroit, I just put 1%. Anyway, it's just a guess. But again, the reason I bring this up is because the thought exercise is, if you knew theoretically that everybody was going to be on the Eagles, everybody but you knew, obviously it's not the case, but let's just say theoretically you knew that, it would be your obligation to play the Chicago Bears, because how many times in your life do you get a chance to win $18 million in a 60-minute span of football? So just knowing that, let's say I'm right that it's 2/3 on Philly. Is that enough of a percentage for you to play the game theory way and go with the Bears? What is the percentage of people that you would estimate on the Eagles that would necessitate you then playing the other side of that? And again, there's a lot of people listening, oh, Gil, it's crazy what you're talking about. I just want to survive. Okay, but you playing Philly and Philly advancing doesn't really get you much. It really doesn't. And maybe you're thinking your move is later, but I'm just saying, we did this with the Raiders and Cowboys in 2021 when Jeff Parlay, the Grover Cleveland of producers, was my producer. We did this thought exercise. He was like, oh, I can't take the Raiders if I knew that 99 out of 100 was going to take the Cowboys. And, of course, the Raiders did end up upsetting the Cowboys in overtime. That knocked out 80 entries alone. 2 years ago, it was even more. It was over 200 entries, the most of which got knocked out playing the Lions against the Packers. Lions never had a chance. So this stuff happens. And after the Eagles' performance against the Cowboys and the Bears keep on winning, I don't know. Nothing's for sure.
I was going to say, just quick, my quick 2 cents on this. Yes, okay. Most people are probably already locked in one way or the other, right? They've been planning this for a while now. I think the percentage question is so good because
Yes.
if it was almost any higher, and with the performances of Philadelphia and Chicago recently, I would be very, very, very tempted to go Chicago. I think your estimate's about dead on, though. I think it's going to be right around here, and if that's the case, it depends what teams you have left over for the stretch run.
740 of the remaining 900 have the Eagles available to them. 300 of the remaining 900 have the Ravens available to them. Let's go to 13B. So if you're lucky enough to get through 13A, Thanksgiving, we get to the Sunday, Monday situation, and there's tons of big favorites. I threw all three of these into one category: Rams, Seahawks, and Patriots. The reason is because, and this is thank you, all Survivor stats here, courtesy of K-Flow, K-Florenz1 on Twitter, who does such a great job of this stuff. The Rams, of the remaining 900 entries, remember, Niners winning last night saved over 200 people. Rams, only 101 of the remaining 900 entries, 11.22%, have the Rams available to them. Only 62 of the remaining 900 entries have the Seahawks available to them, and only 57 of the remaining 900 have the Patriots available to them. Just over 6%. For me, if you are one of these entries that has these teams available, I think the Rams -10 at Carolina and the Seahawks -10.5 hosting Minnesota are good choices. I actually think the Seahawks, the Rams don't have a better place. The Seahawks might at Carolina, but I actually think hosting Minnesota is even a better spot.
Me too. Especially with the quarterback change.
The Patriots, on the other hand, I don't know. It's hosting the Giants. Later in Week 17, you're at the Jets. And even though there's only 57 of those entries that have the Patriots remaining, I don't know that I'd mess with the Giants.
Survivor on the line against Jameis Winston? No, thank you, Gil.
Now, the remaining choices, you can agree or disagree with me on this. I think there's 5 other possibilities this week, and they are Niners, Jaguars, Dolphins, Chargers, Broncos. Niners are at Cleveland. You do have a home game against Tennessee later, but I would chance it at Cleveland. They're 6-point favorites. Chargers is the other one I would play. Chargers, there's no other really natural place to play them better than this, a home game against the Raiders. I think a lot of people are going to be on the Chargers on Sunday. The 3 that are big favorites that I would not be so willing to play, The Jaguars are at Tennessee, Kelly. I don't know why that bothers me so much, but you do have a home game against the Jets later.
Because it's the Jaguars.
Yeah, it's the Jaguars, and you have a home game against the Jets later. I don't think I would play the Jaguars here at Tennessee. I also don't think I'd dunk off a Survivor entry on the Dolphins, who are 6-point favorites hosting the Saints, even though it's the only place to play the Dolphins on the schedule. And I don't believe I would do it on the Broncos at Washington. You do have a at Raiders later, Week 14, next week actually, December 7th. So 49ers, Chargers, yes to me. Sunday, Monday, Jaguars, Dolphins, Broncos, no. But again, if you're part